Good morning, everyone. Long time no see. This is Rick. Sorry I haven't been around, but I have been busy. It is November 2nd, 2023. Okay. If you wish to contact me, these are my emails. Always check if you send me an email looking for me, okay? I usually always respond, and if I do not respond, it's for two reasons. One, it's my email that I sent you is in your spam folder. That happens a lot. Or two, I cannot help you. So if you sent me an email and you check your spam folder, or one more thing, or it's in my spam folder. I've found many people in my spam folder or junk folder, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, if you send me an email and, if I don't respond to you, try again, or try all three or 1, 2, 3, 4 emails. I've had people do that. One of them should get to me. Okay. All right. So, just read this real fast, and let's move on. Okay. All right. So today, what we're going to talk about is updating your status. All right. So, what your well, let me get started. I'm a little rusty. I apologize. Let me show you guys. I've had a few successes, like 3 of them in the last 2 weeks. Okay. All right. Here's one guy, Clint. So he got $36,000. They claimed arrears and they zeroed it out. Okay, if you want to freeze and read that, go right ahead. Okay. This guy here is a nice guy, Dion. This is a dismissal. What happened was the hearing officer dismissed the order going back to the date of complaint. And this is a response to the judge. He sent what the judge calls exceptions, but really what it was is affidavit of facts. Okay. That's what I've been using for a while now. What you need to understand is an unrebutted affidavit of fact stands as truth in commerce. This is all commerce is what they're doing. And I've showed you guys in other videos that these child support courts, they're not even courts anyway, but we'll call it a Title 4D child support court. That's what I've been calling it, which is a specialized court dealing in child support matters only. Okay, so if they're a specialized court, they're not a court of justice. They're obviously not an Article 3 court. What they are is a equity court, which is really a trust court, based on your Social Security number, which is a trust. They scammed everybody, and I'm gonna cover it real quickly. Oh, not quickly, later on. All right, so let me just keep moving. But I'm showing you guys that child support court, Title 4D child support court, is a specialized court. It's an equity court. It operates in admiralty jurisdiction, and it's a prejudicial court. So you're prejudged before you get there. That's why you'll never see them present any evidence to you showing that you do not pay child support. Okay? Now, here's the thing. There's no law that says you have to pay child support. It's your private life. You're a private, private living soul, private sovereign citizen of your state. And I'll cover that later on. Okay? That's part of your status. Anyway, so let me move on. You know how I'll keep bullshitting, and excuse me because I haven't talked to you guys in a while. All right. This is the same guy. All right. He also was very kind to me and made a video testimony sent to me, which is very nice. Maybe I'll show it to you guys in the next video. But, you know, he's a very nice guy. I mean, listen, all you guys are nice. You know, I've been through the same thing with you guys. I know how stressful it is. Trust me. These son of a bitches almost killed me. All right. I know I was in the dark for a long time. You know, I thought the whole thing was legit, the whole system and everything, you know. So, I mean, this is years ago, of course, you know. Hold on here. Let me get to this guy. All right. So what happened was he got my paperwork back in October 11th, I want to say. So he submitted the paperwork, and they wound up calling him. You guys could freeze and read it. And they asked him if he's the all cap name, and then, you know, they asked if they could speak to me. He said no, and then I think he hung up. They hung up. I forget. But anyway, here's on the 26th. He won his case. They're not pursuing him anymore, from what I understand. What we got here? That's not it. That's from. I'm going to be covering that. But this is what he submitted. One of the things he submitted, and what it is an affidavit, a truth that I'm having people send directly to the state for the director and the commissioner or director of the agency. Okay, the director is in charge of the whole state. And again, I used to have, I think I told you guys a few months ago in my last video. And by the way, I made a video in July, and then I don't know what happened. The software that I used I did like 30 minutes and it just disappeared. And I haven't come back since. You know, making these videos takes a lot of work. All right. But anyway, you're gonna have to try and find them on your own. I used to have one of my guys sent me. I had the whole list of them. I sent an affidavit to one of the directors, the director in New York, and like 2 days later, the whole thing was gone. They shut it down. You needed like a password to get in, and because I'm not an employee, none of us are. It disappeared. But anyway, what it is right here. What I've been doing is I'm calling them what they are. They're state public servants. Okay. With the 4D agency that perform under a cooperative arrangement. Okay, I've spoken about this in the past. But what a cooperative arrangement is, it's legal words. They're conspiring. That's really all they're doing. When you're cooperating to deceive somebody and violate their rights, you're conspiring to commit a crime. That's really all it is. And I basically word it that way. Okay. So I don't know. I guess it's starting to work a little bit. You know, I'm always changing my paperwork. I'm updating the way I write, and it's important. Okay, so let's get back to: can correcting and updating your status be the key to freedom inside all courts? Now, we're not going to focus on all courts. We're going to focus on the child support court. Okay, and yes, you can correct it at any time. So let's say, you know, you've been going through these hearings for a while or whatever. There's nothing to stop you from submitting an affidavit of truth. Okay, you get it notarized, and then what I'm having people do is I'm having you send these affidavits notarized, get 2 witnesses so you have, there's going to be three witnesses actually. Yeah, 3 witnesses, the notary and your 2 friends, family members, or whatever. They got to be over 18. That's really all it has to be. You know, a competent adult, really. And I'm having you sent by registered receipt directly to the judge. And what you can do is you can call the courts and just play dumb. You know, don't ever tell them what you look. You say, yeah, I have an upcoming hearing or whatever. Can I just have the name of the judge, or what? Yeah, call him judge because you want them to think that you don't know what's going on. Can I have the name of the judge? I'm just curious, you know, if it's a man or a woman, whatever. Just make up some bullshit. Whatever you do, don't say, yeah, I just want his name or her name so I can send them paperwork. Don't ever do that, okay? Don't ever tip your hand to these people. These people are very, very deceptive. They're trained to be deceptive. You know, I'm on TikTok. I don't post videos like this on TikTok. You know, I post cat videos. I post my, you know, this is the only platform that I'm on, okay? But, you know, there are a lot of gurus out there. A lot of guys know what they're doing. I'm not criticizing anybody, but there was one video I saw, and it's one guy going to serve paperwork to the clerk's office. People have no clue how deceptive these people are. They lie right to your face. So don't ever think for a second when you go to the clerk's office they're going to be honest with you. Okay, they're not. I provide paperwork for clerks' paperwork. What you're doing is you're advising them that, hey, jurisdiction hasn't been established. So you don't recognize their authority because they've never proved to you they have authority. So why am I beholden to all your court rules? Why do I have to jump through all of these hoops when you haven't jumped through one hoop for me? The one hoop you're supposed to jump through for me is to prove jurisdiction. Okay, there's a shitload of case law on it. There's even, was it 5 U.S.C. 55, the Administrative Procedure Act. I'll get it in a little while. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, here it is. The Administrative Procedure Act. Okay, 5 United States Code, Section 556. Hearings, presiding employees, powers and duties, burden of proof, evidence, record of basis. So basically, in this case, so I don't have it with me. It's in my paperwork. Because what I do is when I start these videos, I start going in different directions. It's hard to script this stuff. Okay, just bear with me. I apologize. What it is, if they're making a claim that they have jurisdiction, they have to prove it. Okay, basically he makes the claim, must prove it, or she, whatever. All right. So anyway, they have to prove jurisdiction. All right. This is the book I'm getting a lot of this information from. It's a really good book. I recommend you guys get it. It's called Fruit from a Poison Tree. Okay. All right. Can you see it? Okay. And I got 2 of them. Okay. So it's only 265 pages. It's an easy read. And what this will do is it'll give you a really, really good understanding of what happened to our legal system. That's why I get a lot of emails from people. They go in there and people are surprised, as I was many years ago. You know, basically when you go there, they just steamroll all over you. And a lot of it has to do with these presumptions and your status. Okay, their presumption is they're allowed to presume your status. Okay, so your status is a mask. Okay, because the way they look at it, everything is theater. Okay, so they're allowed to presume you're wearing a specific mask. And this specific mask would be, okay, right here. You're a non-natural person. Okay, you're a legal fiction. You're a straw man. Okay, many of you that that are doing research, you've all heard these things, but a lot of you maybe haven't. Okay, and you can see here he's got it all capitalized. That's how they spell your name in all capital letters. Okay, just to give you a real quick understanding of what that mask is. So you're going to correct this mask right here. If you want to freeze and read this, it gives you a background, a persona. Okay, there are a lot of actors out there, musical people. They have a specific persona you'll see on TV and movies, but in real life they're completely different. Years ago, 50 years ago, there used to be a group called Kiss, and they used to wear their persona was they wore makeup. and no one knew what they looked like. So when they were in their private lives, no one knew who they were. It was a gimmick, obviously, but I'm just giving you, you know, a visual of what they would, what a persona is. Okay, you want a persona where, okay, here's an excuse. On the Boviers, in our jurisprudence, the part the person plays in society, the mask she wears, determines the natural or legal rights. See, the two different rights. He may or may not have the jurisdiction in the different courts over his personality. Okay, jurisprudence. There's a definition for you to look at. Okay, deception. That's what this is all about. Your mask is a deception. So they're allowed to presume you're the old natural, the non-natural person, artificial person, legal entity, a juristic person, okay? And you need to file an affidavit of truth disproving this by making a declaration. Oh, for your information, it's a fact. I am not that all capital spelling word. I am a living soul. I am a sovereign. And you try not to group those two words together. They got all these effing dummies who work in these courthouses. You know, they have them on the lookout. And those of you who have my paperwork, I provide that whole sovereign citizen thing that they basically try and, I don't want to say criminalize it, because there's, you know, they can't arrest you for it, but they try and make you look, they try and make it look like they're all a bunch of nuts. The same way they call people out there that investigate the government, all the phony baloney shit that they do to us. They call them conspiracy theorists. Okay, so they disparage you, and there's nothing wrong with declaring your sovereignty. A few months ago, I believe something happened in Congress with Pelosi and those clients. And again, I don't watch TV. I don't watch the news. I recommend you stop watching it yourself. But that's just my opinion. But I saw it on X or whatever it is, Twitter now, whatever, or Twitter and now X, which I got banned from, by the way. You know, anyway. I got a lifetime ban because I was speaking too much truth. But anyway, well, they declared sovereignty. It's hilarious. The government will declare it's sovereign, but the people aren't. How can the creation or the servants of the people be sovereign over the people they serve? It doesn't work. Okay. So really, what it is, it's everything is magic. They change words around, statutory words, you know, red is green, green is red, includes means limited to, or something like, or excludes means limited to. I'll get to that later, but they change words around when words should just have an ordinary meaning or in a dictionary. Okay? So those who practice an illusion are called magicians, or in less poetic sense, politicians, lawyers. 90% of the politicians are all lawyers. Okay? So, have you ever questioned why a Christian name is spelled in capital letters? When we all, not Al, all know that English grammar requires a spelling up, you know, capital letter first, lowercase letters. Okay? These are his words. I can assure you that is not for clarity. Okay? Does the word person in statutory law, or again, statutory law. Now look, real quickly. Status. S-T-A-T-U. Tory. Isn't it funny how status and statutory have the same basis? Basically, the same, right there. Let me show you. Statute. Let me try this here. Bear with me, guys. I'm still a little rusty doing this. Okay. So your status has a lot to do with these statutory laws. Okay. Statutory laws are made for non-fiction people, the people I described before. Well, you don't want that, okay? We're going to be living souls, okay? So, you're about to discover the answer to both those questions. These criminal magicians, politicians, have convinced the American population that citizens of this nation are of a status that they are not. So they got everybody thinking that they're one status because that status removes all their rights and their sovereignty. Okay, it's what they said. What he said here. Quick hands. Magician uses, they distract you here and they do something over there. Okay. Sophistry. That's trickery, I believe. Let me see. Thesaurus. Dishonesty. Fraudulence. Okay. Obfuscation. Mystification, confusion, clouding, smokescreen. This is what judges do. When you ask them a direct question, they'll filibuster. They won't ask, excuse me, am I a living soul? Natural person. Natural person's okay. What they did is they changed the word of person, and person used to mean a human being. Okay. But they changed it around and turned it into a legal fiction, which, I've showed you guys in past videos, corporation, a trust, all capital letter, name. So, these are wonderful people. So, we're behind, the 8 ball, because we don't have a clue what's going on. It takes years to figure a lot of this stuff out. So through the clever use of IRS speak, child support is basically a version of what they do with the IRS. Okay, same basic stuff. It's called word art. The executive branch promotes the fraud, and Congress turns the blind eye. This can't happen without Congress. Okay, Congress is supposed to protect us. So. Okay. And I'm going to let you guys read a lot of this stuff on your own. Okay? Because I'm not doing it any justice. All I'm showing you is you want to change your status. Okay? I'll give you some case laws with it. Some questions you could ask. And you won't get a straight answer. Again, the obfuscate. So, I believe you're better off submitting paperwork, because if they don't respond to the paperwork, the affidavit of truth or affidavit, it remains what they call truth in truth in commerce, because you presented facts, and what I like to do is I like to do a rebuttal argument where I'll point out that you claim one thing, and I'll show a definition. Say, listen, this is from your own definition of what a person is. This is your definition of what a state is. This is your definition of what the United States is. Okay? And my thing is, it's not applicable on state land. Okay? So you're going to read this stuff. Like these, like the federal laws are really not applicable on state land. It's only applicable on military bases, land that is ceded by the state for forts, military bases, things like that. The post office, I believe. So these courts are not, they're on their state land. or they claim they're on dry dock, which is a bunch of bullshit too. There's no water. How could you be docked? Anyway, so keep moving. Okay, this is important. This is according to the author, MELVIN Stamper, who's, by the way, was a lawyer. He's retired. He was a Marine. You know, he's a moral man. And when you read the book, you'll see it's not an expensive book. It's maybe $20, $25 tops. But you get it on Amazon. You'll have it in 2 days. Okay. What he's saying is that the highest level is a living soul. God made us. And if all men are equal, and women, if we're all equal, I gotta be politically correct, nobody's above us, only God. Okay, so a living soul, we all have souls. And this is how God, and this is from Genesis 2:8, and the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Okay, so we're living souls, and we're all kings. We're all deemed sovereign. Kings are supposed kings are the representatives of God. That's how they became kings. That's their theory, you know, whatever. But that's the whole basis of a monarchy. So here's a case law where the people of the state are entitled to all rights which formerly belonged to the king by his prerogative. Prerogative means exclusive right. So what happened was during the 1700s, when we were going through a fight with the king, as part of the concession they made with the king recognized that all the men that he was fighting the American Revolution, they all have the same title as him, and that's what this is based on. I might not be explaining it the right way, but you get the idea. So there's the case law. Okay. See, the distinction is unique in the United States of America because we're collectively living souls. We were given the highest possible status, that of sovereign over the government we created. The authority for bestowing the authority was we the people, not we the representatives, not we the judges, not we the Congress, we the people. Okay, we created the government. So the government's sole duty is supposed to protect our rights, not deceive us and deprive us of these rights. Okay, that's what we've become. And this is his opinion. And distinction was taken at bar between a state and the people of the state. Let me see something here. No, this is a case law. I apologize. And I'll let you read it. All right. Again, we're at 25 minutes. I know a lot of you don't have the attention span, but we have the Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights was created. See, it took like 20 years from like 1776 till 1791. And again, look this stuff up. I'm going from memory. I don't have all these slides ready and everything, because again, I make these things and I go in different directions, and I apologize. I'm not a professional. Okay, I'm not an agent or a troll. I see some of these videos out there, like they're professionally done, and I gotta wonder. There are a lot of trolls and agents on all media, social media, that are there to trick you. Okay, I saw one guy on TikTok. He acts like he's an expert. He always takes the side of the government for some reason, and we're all just too stupid because we're reading things differently. Okay, so I'm not going to say the guy's name, but like today I was like, this guy's definitely an agent. Okay, anyway, the whole purpose of the Bill of Rights was to protect us, the living souls, from our creation, which was the federal government, because the men back then knew how government operates, and when you give some people power, they tend to get, you know, drunk with power, and they act like they have more power than we do when we're the ones they're representing. Okay, so you can read all of this. For their success, the government, they depend on our apathy. Apathy is lack of concern, lack of interest, because people are too busy working. Also, the education system is so bad, they do not teach this stuff. Over 150 years ago, when you used to have homeschool, and the parents used to teach their children because they knew the father or mother understood that knowledge is, you have to have knowledge of your government to protect yourself from it. That's probably one of the reasons why they created public schools. Okay, so here, person, in general usage, a human being, natural person. This is from Black's Law Dictionary, okay, 9th edition. This is my, I don't have 6th edition, I have 9th edition. All right, let me put this here. So, though by statute term, this is very important. Okay, in general usage, a human being is a natural person. But though by statute term may include labor organizations, partnerships, corporations, legal representatives, trustees in bank, or receivers. Okay, so by statute they could change. This is not the same thing with statute. Status, right? So there are two types of persons described: a human being with natural rights, and an artificial statutory person, artificial entities or legal fictions with legal rights, not natural rights, legal rights. Okay. Okay, so read this. They use, and I covered this before, they use word art. Okay, remember, red is green, green is red. So you can never, you know, words like including, states, and again, sophistry, or sophistry, I think it's sophistry, clever use of arguments that seem true but really false. Okay, and then correcting your status. So, Article 3, Section 2 of the Constitution for the United States defines the jurisdictions of the law. They are law, meaning common law. So, if you establish yourself as a living soul, you're supposed to be under common law with all constitutional protections. Now, this again. So now, if they presume you're an artificial person, okay, a legal entity, a vessel. Okay, they use vessel. They'll call you a vessel because they want you in admiralty. Okay, so in equity, admiralty, and maritime is contract law, private international law with no constitutional protection. That's what's going on in these courts, these child support courts. So by fixing your status, you're going to say, I am this, and they have to prove that you're not. Okay, now if you're inside one of these bullshit proceedings, you're saying, am I not standing here right now? Do you not see me? Am I not a living soul? Can you prove I don't have a soul? You are a fact. A fact is something that's happened in time and space. That's a fact. Okay? And that's basically it. I'm going to stop the video right there. I'm going to do another video in a couple of days. I know I've said that before, but to give you an idea, this is what I'm going to cover. I'm not covering, I'm using this book as a basis of what I'm not going to be talking about income taxes. I'm not in that stuff, okay? I'm busy enough with this stuff. But it's the same things apply, okay? Just put it that way. They use very good case laws there. And, you know, this book cost me like $300, okay? This book came out in the late 90s. You can look up this woman's name, Lynn Meredith. Just want to give her credit, okay? And that's basically it. I'm just trying to, you guys can read the slides and see how important it is to correct your status, all right? And let me just, if anybody's still here, okay, so real quickly, I hope, I've sent people paperwork and it's hilarious because they're like, Rick, how do I get rid of these numbers on the side? They're there for a reason, guys, okay? They're there for a reason. So you could say on page 12, line 9, it says, truth fact number 8. It is a well-established principle of law that all federal legislation applies only within the territorial jurisdiction of the United States, unless contrary intent appears. I'm going to just give you this important case law. All federal legislation, which includes Title 4D, by the way, applies only in federal jurisdiction, United States jurisdiction, which is the corporate United States, not your state. What they're doing is they're legislating for two classes of citizens: the United States citizen, which again is Washington D.C., Guam, Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, Mariana Islands, you know, American Samoa, and then you have the 50 states, contiguous states, the lands with boundaries. Excuse me, God. All right, guys, let me get going. And again, I apologize for being gone for so long. Hopefully I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.